Hey everybody, this is Pokemon Darkseid here. Today I'm with
Gemagon 12,
and this is
TCG Pop Weekly.
So today this is how to play Cardfight Vanguard. I can see in the last video we showed how to, stuff and
How to tell the map out, and then how the cards look.
and that shit we did.
That's good. It's good.
So anyway, today we're going to tell you how much cards you have in your deck and
Just explain balance and explain all the levels.
This card is not included. Just to tell you in trial decks. This is just decks
This decks we've built.
we built. So today, let's show you the grade zeros. So today, yes, they're double sleeve and it's animated.
Pardon me, I'll get it a little closer.
So, right, this is your grade zero. All of these are your grade zeros. Right, you're allowed.
Your grade zeros,
So,
your grade ones, your grade twos, and your grade threes.
okay, so
Let's explain grade one.
okay. These are triggers because last time Jade McGuire told you this, so there's nothing.
Hopefully we're going somewhere.
So let's go to grade zeros.
Your
So-
starting Vanguard.
So this is your starting Vanguard. That means you always play this at the beginning.
Stand from stand.
Stand. So
Stand being face down.
So that's your first evolution. So you're trying to go up to the next level. So it's grade 1. So Jay could just move that side.
Boosh.
So this is your grade 0, right?
Your grade ones are basically your mainstay of your force. They'll be the ones boosting your level twos and that.
That's it. So
Note that level ones can also boost. Boost means that when a front
we do that
player
next.
All right. Pardon me.
So this is your grade 2s.
Grade twos are for intercepting.
So apparently we'll be.
They can help you defend.
And do a lot of jazz and good abilities.
Especially Blaster Blade. He's quite a little
Badass
beach.
card.
Little beach.
Now we got the grade 3s. Your toughest men you have,
Yep.
or dragons, or whatever you
Your
want.
great. If you can, you'll always want to get your Vanguard to level 3 as quickly as possible.
And you want to have a stable deck.
Yes, which Alan will now explain.
All right. So if you have if you get a trial deck, it'll come this book. I'm just covering it small. So now if Jim going to put it down. So for grade zeros, you should have about 17, including your starting Vanguard
And your triggers, of course.
and all your triggers.
Note that you can only have a maximum of four health triggers.
Or you can have a different name that has, well, you only like 4 heal triggers. But other triggers, you can have many as you can, except for the same name.
Yes,
Doesn't
up to 4.
Up to 4. So the next one will be grade 1s.
Mm-hmm.
You're only allowed 15. So you want to have 15. You don't want to go over that. You don't want to go over anything. But some decks, some people can go.
As always, this is only what's recommended, so you may want to you may want to tweak this as you go on. But if you're just starting out, I would keep it simple as you can. Keep it as simple as you can.
Grade 2s.
Grade 2s.
Grade 2s, you're only allowed 10. At maximum, if you're not maximum. You can go
That's
over.
like a good to begin with. But different decks and then your play style.
So your playstyle.
Add more or less as you see fit.
So now you're grade 3s. You're only allowed. 8 is a good number to start off with.
Remember, you'll want plenty of grade 1s and 2s to support your grade 3s. For instance, you'll want a grade 2, at least one
To
grade.
defend your Vanguard.
Yes.
Apparently we'll do that in the next video or sooner or later. So
I mean, personally, talking tactics, I would go for 2 grade 3s, and then 1 grade 3, grade 2 even, to support them. Just to intercept in that, because that's their effect. Also note that grade 3s, bar their effect, can dual drive. They can draw 2 bonuses.
We do that next video, soon enough. So now we move to the main phase.
This is simply how...
Don't turn the phone around.
This is simply how the game is structured. The turn, as it was. Pardon. So I was upside down, pardon me.
So basically when you're starting off, you have this, right? You have this card.
You'll have your...
Starting Vanguard, as you know, it's Stardust Trumpet, it's a shitty card that people love.
It's just the card that you start out with. That you draw from your deck before you shuffle it.
Yeah, so we do that first. It says stand, turn 1, it says stand.
That just means...
Yes, just stand. Or you just say the fancy stand up the Vanguard. Or
Stand up, Vanguard!
And all these magical monsters appear, but that never happened to me.
Card games.
So stand. Or, yeah, you could say that and then when you're, if you already tagged, for instance, for this card, it says stand, Then there's cards here. You draw. So it's like that. You draw.
Oh, also note, after you stand, you draw. And that you start off with 5 cards. And you could also do a mulligan type thing, where you can put back all the cards that you don't want. Note that you'll want to put yellows back, because you need them in your deck. And you'll also, if you don't have... What? Right. Sorry, I'm not getting too tech. I'm sorry,
we're getting too deep for this.
Yeah. We're just explaining the structure and what you do.
Okay, for number 3, it's ride. So every time, so you start this, right? You want to always, well, this is
bring your dueling to the next level.
So grade 1, ride. Then you're only allowed to ride 1 per turn.
But say you get to the next turn.
But there's this special ride to get to the next round. It's called superior ride. Where you, this is for, Barco's banned, so I can't show you. I don't even have the card. So if you have Barco, Lou, and Flogo, goes to your rear guard to get Blaster Blade out. But yeah, so pretend this is our next riding phase. So you ride. So now Blaster Blade's effect. Well, we do this sometime next video. So you ride. So to that level. And then the next turn, you want to ride for grade 3.
Yes.
Like that.
Also note that you can still go up. You can add more grade 3s.
You can still ride the same grade 3, any grade 3, but you can't go lower after that.
Yes. Also note that your rear guard can only be as high or lower than your Vanguard. For instance, you could have another level 3 or level 2. But only as long as you have a level 3 Vanguard. Okay?
Now, next phase is your main phase is call guardians and prepare for battle. So call guardian means, well, if you
basically the main thing about the main phase is that you activate your effects.
So for instance, you'll have to ride first, then call. If you call, it means you skip your ride phase. Which apparently will be shit.
Yes.
You want to ride fast as you can. No, I'm not talking about penis going to someone's ass. But anyway, so call your guarding is if you have
penis.
So if pretend this is your hand, and you want to call, you have a selection there, right? This is the selections you have.
You have a grade from left to right. You have a grade 0, a grade 1, a grade 3, a grade 2, and another grade 2.
So this is.
And you've got a level 3 as your Vanguard. Right?
So call guarding means this is your hand, so you call that to the rear guard.
Yeah.
Note: do not call all of them at once. You want to save your hand.
You want to have some in your hand to defend yourself.
For instance,
again, we'll explain later.
So you call guardian.
You'll want to put something behind it to give it boost. Okay.
Don't put grade 3. Don't put grade 3 or 2 behind it.
Note: we're doing this from your perspective. Pretend that if you were looking straight at the mat. Okay, we're not doing it from our perspective, but from yours. Just so you know.
So you only the only card can boost is grade 0 and 1. So these.
If they have this small symbol here,
right there,
the little arrow.
So okay. What card does it go there? Jesus Christ!
You can also place another grade 3 as well. Again, there's usually no point of putting out just a rear guard on its own. I find it's best to wait till you have something behind it.
Right,
the boost.
So next is your battle phase. So
that's pretty self-explanatory, but it has a lot of sub-phases, you see. First of all being the attack and boost. That's just basically declaring your attack and then what's boosting. Say I wanted to get Blaster Blade to attack. I would turn him like that. That is called standing. And that I want her to boost. And I want...
It's a he.
I want him to boost him.
So basically, this number adds up to this number, so that makes 17 together.
Yes. We'll explain the rest of that in the battle phase section in the next video.
In some video in time in the future where we do a battle. So remember guys, it's this way. It's like defending, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You defend yourself.
Yes.
So it's this way.
Also note that at the end of your turn, you don't turn them back. You only turn them back at the start of your next turn.
So, yep. And then it says...
Call your guardian.
Call your guardians.
That just means
Yeah.
I find it's best to use your guardians, your rear guards, to attack first. Okay.
2 seconds here. And now it says drive check.
That just simply means draw a card.
Well, basically your bonus stage. So right.
It's if you get remember the yellow cards we mentioned earlier. If you draw one of these, you get a boost. Let's see what happens.
All right. So
draw, Alan, and we'll see.
So
what happens.
basically, no, we'll do that thing first. So if we have a grade 0, let's pick one out here. So if a grade 0, grade 0 going to only do 1 damage. So is grade 1. So is grade 2. Like, drive check. So Jay, if you just point the camera and don't shake the table. So they only do 1. Right?
So it's stand.
But grade 3 is a bigger problem. And it's the best one as well.
Well, bigger problem for your opponent.
They can do 2. Can do 2. 2 damage. Well, not damage. I mean, like
they can draw twice.
Draw twice. Twin drive.
We'll do a normal drive first.
That's not a normal drive. You don't only Vanguard does drive check, not your rear guards.
If a level 2 was a Vanguard, you would only draw 1. Oh look, a stand.
Oh, it's this one.
But let's say you got a level 3, you can draw it twice. 2 stands.
2 stands.
Haha. 2 stand. A pun.
Yes. So next is if the powers are the same.
That's basically when you attack.
It still goes through.
Your attack only goes through if it's greater than your opponent.
Or the same.
Or the same.
Yu-Gi-Oh wise, both of them are dead.
Then once the attack goes through, you do a damage check. That just means your opponent draws a card from their deck, and if it doesn't, and adds it to their damage zone. This zone here.
This is damage.
For instance, let's say Alan was attacked. He puts this down. You can, even if you get a stand, you can stand something. For instance, this. If he was like that, you can put him like that, and you can also add power to him. Or you can also put the power somewhere else if you wish, say in your Vanguard, to protect it.
Right, so when you get to 6, for instance, so it's add a random number.
When you get to, say, 4, say you're on 5, and you take 1 more damage,
will be
game
like
over.
This, game over. But don't time.
Game
the only
over,
thing
man.
Game
over.
Yeah, shush. The only thing I'll save you is a heal trigger.
Oh, assuming you're losing, and assuming if you're on 5, you are. If you get a heal trigger, you can take 1 damage back and just simply put it into the drop zone.
So apparently it'll be here.
It will be about there. Yes.
So that'll be everything for now. Next week we're going to tell how the effect works.
We'll explain the facts, don't worry.
So when we get this done, we will post it on YouTube. So see you guys next week.
End transmission.